Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rico here, CEO of SourceFind Asia, co-host of the Main Channel podcast, and the host of the SourceFind Asia YouTube channel. Back with another one, another video cast, and this is a very special episode. This is like somebody near and dear to my heart. You know what I mean? We call her Young Jaymee The Plug. We'll explain what that meaning is throughout the podcast. But Jaymee is somebody I've known for 4 years. I met her in the Philippines through my business, through China Mike. And she's just helped me in a lot of different ways. We're doing some work together right now on the content side of things and general SFA stuff. And yeah, so without further ado, cue the intro. Okay, so you end up working for the bank. Then we met through Mike, and then we became friends. And do you want to explain how you got the nickname Young Jaymee and then the plug?
Yeah. Okay, so you gave me that nickname because like when you're starting living here in the Philippines, or maybe
Oh,
before you even
Young Jaymee
started.
was like the first trip when we met. That's when I started calling you Young Jaymee.
Yeah, before you even started living here, you were just like on vacation, and also Nick, and like whatever you need, like Jamie, do you know where to get this? Do you know where to find this? Or like, do you know what I need for this? So I was like, oh yeah, I know that. Like, yeah, I can connect you with this. Oh, I can bring you to to. I remember I brought Nick to the immigration, and
Yep.
we met someone inside. It's like calling people, asking them, oh, I have a friend that needs this and need that. Oh, okay, go to this place and look for this and that. So it's like,
Yep.
Jamie, you're like our plug.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, tell me what are the things that
And then the
you.
Young Jaymee thing was just like, it's about your energy, you know, it's about
Mm,
your aura, and then also like you do not look your age at all. So
yeah.
so yeah,
Thanks.
so that's one of those things where it was like Young Jaymee, about the looks, and then also the aura and the personality and the energy that you have. So it's like, and then of course I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
So, and if anybody listens to
Yeah.
JRE, it's it's got Young Jamie, pull it up, all that stuff.
Hmm.
So that's where we started, with Young Jaymee first, and then I added the plug later.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
but
just.
to the people who doesn't know young Jamie from Joe Rogan, he's a guy, but Jamie's like a female and a guy's name in the US. So
Yep.
like
Yeah, it's a
I'm the
unisex name.
female young Jamie,
Young Jamie.
and Joe Rogan's young Jamie is the male version.
Yep. Yep. So I said, Jamie, can you pull it up? Can you pull up this? Can you pull up that? Jamie, how do we do this? How do we do that?
Yeah, and I have to say this. Like during the pandemic, we were roaming around. We were going to
Yep.
some valleys. Like
Yep.
everyone cannot travel, but we are like, where are you going? Oh, we work for the security
The
industry.
security.
We work for the security industry. And remember, there's a police officer.
Who stopped
You
us?
work for the
Yeah.
security. Yeah, you work for the
Yeah.
security. You work for the security industry. So what's uh GO number 10? I
Yeah.
said, oh, general order. Okay, you may pass. You remember that?
No, I remember. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
it.
the police officer testing us if we're like just making
When
it
we were
up.
entering the area, yeah, and yeah,
Yeah, in
he was trying to
Zambales.
test you. He was trying to test you.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay,
he's,
really?
he's
Yeah.
he's suspicious because like okay, the driver and the person that owns the security agency is female. It's like, are you sure? Are
Hey,
you
you
sure?
sure?
Like I was like in his mind, he's like, are you sure? Yeah, it's fine getting
Okay,
away of it.
so yeah, no, it's funny. So what are you? I guess transitioning from the the family business, all that stuff, to the banking. What are you doing now? I know that there was a step in between that where you went more full time with the
Mm-hmm.
security company, and
Mm-hmm.
then we started working together on some stuff right now, and
Mm-hmm.
then you've been doing some of the banking stuff as well.
Yeah. So how would I say it? So the good thing about the banking stuff is that it's fixed time.
Yep.
And then outside that fixed hours, I can do my own thing.
Yep.
I still receive calls from the business because the license is now under my name. Okay, I'm still their president even though I'm not there. So people are still calling me um like the clients, the staff, the securities. And actually, that's one good thing because I keep the connection. Like here in the Philippines, connection is very important. It's a
Yep.
big deal. Like if you want like an easy life, not super easy life, but like um
Easier.
getting something.
Yep.
Yeah,
Done quicker,
like getting
easier. Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
quicker, and
Well, I mean,
because someone.
just a quick example. It's not even about like not just knowing people, but also just like having money. Like, I mean, when I was leaving the Philippines last few times, I showed up at the airport. First time I showed up late, not on purpose,
Mm,
because I usually for international flights would be like 3 hours before, but like I don't know why that particular day doesn't matter. But I showed up a little bit late, like maybe an hour and a half before my flight,
mm,
and they stop allowing people to go through for 45 minutes before the
mm,
flight leaves, especially for international flights. So I showed up, I'm looking like panicked, like whatever. And then one of the guys sees me, one of the kuyas sees me, is like, what time is your flight? So I showed him my ticket, and he's like, oh, you're late, you want to skip the line? I was like,
mm.
skip the line. And the line was crazy. The line was from inside going outside.
Yeah.
There's at least like 100 plus people in that line. And I was like, yeah, what do I need to do to skip the line? And he was like, well, how much money do you have? And I was like, I don't have that much pesos. I have like, 100 RMB on me. And then I have like I think maybe like 500 pesos. And he was like, it's enough. So, so, so I gave him about 30 to 40 US dollars
Mm,
and in different currencies. And then he split it with himself, the guy the security, and
mm,
then also the people, the porters that carry your bags, and then the gate, what do you call it, the women that handle the check-in process, the flight
mm.
attendants that handle the check-in process. And yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. So I went from like probably what would have been like a 40-minute wait to three
Mm.
minutes I was by immigration. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and just because you if you know how to work the system or something like that, then you can kind of
Yeah.
make your life a little bit easier.
So for the bank, it's just there,
Yep.
and they can replace me anytime. So
Yep.
I don't really consider my career being in the bank. I would still be considering putting up my own business aside from the family business, and then like working with you guys right now with Source Find Asia. I can connect the dots. You need, like, for example, your client with the
Mhm.
fuel. Like, how long did it take you to finish the
So
packages
do you
being
wanna
sent out?
dive into how we started working together, just so it's clear for people? Because I think we've been teasing
Oh,
them the whole episode.
yeah. So, like, with these skills that I have, like calling people, talking to people, I started helping you guys with just really help, you know. Like, okay, I went to the airport just to find out what's happening with the packages. And then I found out that, oh, they're transitioning from Naiya to Clark, that
Mhm.
all the packages, all the couriers are like dropping all the shipping, or all the
So so
shipping
so
would be going to Clark.
just just to clarify, if you guys haven't listened to the episodes with me and Alan that are out already, so we were doing a project with Event Fuel, which was a Christmas project. We were sending out gift boxes all over the world. 2,000 packages came into the Philippines, but in the Philippines, and it was through FedEx into the Philippines. But in the Philippines, they have some additional taxes on some of the like random packages. So it was like out of 2,000, I would say like, I don't know, 500 packages plus were pulled aside. Most of them we got done before Christmas. So, but there was still like another, I don't know, like 100 or 50 packages
Mm,
left. And we just couldn't get a hold of anybody. We're emailing, we're calling, we're doing all this stuff. This is weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of doing this. And then eventually, I just said, like, I think we have to physically go there. At least I need to talk to somebody that can connect me to somebody that's on a,
mm,
higher level, within the
mm.
FedEx, so to understand what the fuck is going on. So
Yeah,
that's when I reached out to Jaymee.
yeah. So, yeah, first, like, I was just helping, and they were asking me, like, how are you connected to them? Who are you? Like
Yeah.
that. Like, okay, I'm the friend of I'm the friend of the CEO of Source Financial, and I'm like just here to help them find out or figure out what's happening, this and that. So it's like, and I was the one calling them already, but I was like, Rico, I think I should be like part of the team. So whenever I talk to them, it's like I'm not an outsider, just
Yeah.
asking
Yeah.
for information, because like it's different when you meet them in person and when you talk over the phone. Like, over the phone, some of them would like be, oh, we can't give you any information if you don't have, oh, we can't tell you the status of the packages if you don't have the information of the receiver, the tracking number. I have the tracking number, I mean, the name of the receiver, the address, this and that. It's like, okay, so where I'm gonna get it? Like, I'm just here to, like, inquire on behalf of you, or Source Financial. So I was like, okay, Rico, can you please, put me in the team, so that whenever I talk to someone, I was like someone from Source Financial that I have the right to ask, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been working on, and then that's transitioned more into like the content marketing stuff with the launch of our Discord chat, and getting back into what we're doing right now, which is recording content and releasing videos and podcasts and things like that, on a more
Mm,
consistent basis. So it's been good so far.
yeah. So it started with, FedEx, or tracking these parcels, to doing or managing the content, videos and podcasts. And I think I'll be checking on this before it goes out.
Yep.
So this is one of the things that I do for Source Asia.
It's going to be very interesting for you to watch yourself and listen to yourself in an interview,
Yeah,
and then trying to evaluate what parts you need to cut out, and it's going to be an interesting experience.
I'm not really prepared for a video, because you said it's just a podcast.
Mhm.
So,
So, what do you think? Because I mean, not everybody in the Philippines is a plug, right? So, what do you think is unique in terms of your skill set that allows you to make these connections? Because, like, for example, it's like it's not even just the plug aspect. Is, yes, you have the family connections, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
just, you're born into the family, you have those connections. But
Mm-hmm.
you also connect people that you've just met, right?
Yeah.
Like you connect people that are foreigners and from different cultures, backgrounds, etc., etc. There's
Mm-hmm.
multiple examples I can give around that. So like, what is the skill? What do you think is your unique skill set around that?
I I think it's being genuine, genuine to help and be friends with the people. Because like for me, whenever I meet someone, like you're a good person, unless you do something bad to me. And you're new here. I want your life to be easy in the Philippines. Whatever you need or whatever I can help, I would help. Whatever you need whatever you need here in the Philippines that you haven't figured out, I will help you. It's just because I want everyone to be, in a good status in the Philippines, I think. And I want, it's not that I have to, but it's a feeling that I want other people, I mean, foreigners, to see that Filipinos are generally, helpful, hospitable, friendly, and not because they need something from them. So
Yeah,
and people, you can tell it. Like when you meet someone, you can feel it if if the person is genuine, or just like trying to be friends with you because of something.
yeah,
So
because
I
of something that you can give them, whether it's lifestyle, money, something that, a job, or
yeah.
introduce
Mm-hmm.
them to somebody, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think I've helped other people to be connected with other people, that they would need each other, for a project, for a business or something. But it's really connecting people, or generally being friends to people and see what you can do. Because it's a different feeling whenever you help someone and they are genuinely grateful, you
yeah,
know
yeah.
so
I
I mean
mean,
it's
I also, I mean, personally, I believe in karma. So, like, I feel
mm,
like when you help people without any expectation of them doing
yeah.
something for you, the I think the universe rewards you in different ways moving forward. So
Mm,
it's like, my expectation is not that, oh, I'm gonna help you and immediately I'm gonna get something back. It's more like I'm putting good energy out there, so hopefully I get good energy back, uh, from
yeah.
from the world, not just this specific
Yeah,
person.
and not from
Yeah,
the same person that you
yeah,
help. It's
yeah,
not the same person that you help who's going to be paying it back to you, actually. And
yeah.
also, it's also the feeling, whenever you don't you feel happy whenever you do something good or help
Yeah, no,
people.
of course.
It's
I
it's a
like helping
feeling.
people. I mean, we were talking about it in the beginning, is like teaching and all that stuff. Is like when I realized that, um, one of the things I like is teaching, is when I was teaching English in China. So I was like, oh, I like this, but it's not that I want to teach English. I just want to teach, but I want to find
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what I'm interested in, which is what I'm doing right now when we talk about business, life, all these different things. That's what I enjoy talking about. That's why I enjoy helping people learn about. And here it's funny because I feel like, because I just turned 30, in case anybody doesn't know, I feel like sometimes I sit down. Like, I remember we were hanging out a few weeks ago, and we were with some younger people,
Mm.
and I asked, I don't know if I asked or they said their ages, and I was like, oh wow. Like, these guys are like 23 or 22, 28, 24 or something like that. I was like, oh, I feel old.
Mm.
This is the first time I've been hanging out in a group where I'm like, not the first time, but one of the first times I've been hanging out in a group where I'm not the youngest person or one of
Mm-hmm.
the youngest people there. So it was an interesting situation. And then they started asking me questions about my life and how I built my company and all that stuff. And then I switched
Mm.
into like teacher mode, like I switched into
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
philosophy, this is what you have to think about and whatever. And I really enjoyed that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed talking about those kind of things. Um,
Yeah.
So okay, so you're saying being genuine is probably the most unique. Well, I guess you could also say it's being genuine and being transparent. So like, there's no
Yeah.
reason, there's no intent behind what you're doing besides just trying to help
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And then people
How
feel
about
it.
you? How, maybe I should ask you, like,
Mm.
how I became friends with you. I mean, how we became this close. Like, we're like brothers and sisters. And when I first saw you, I was like, yes,
Intimidated.
you know,
I have
yeah,
a,
intimidated. Like,
I have
you
a,
have
I
this
have a
poker face, blank face,
resting bitch face.
resting face. Yeah.
Listen, I have a resting bitch face, but I mean, I like I said to you, is like, look, I could be doing like I could be thinking about sunflowers and butterflies and whatever, and like but my face is just like blank, and then some people get intimidated by it, which I can understand. But like when I'm concentrating, and especially that particular day, I was doing something, I was concentrating on something else, and then I got pulled out of it. So it's like I'm also the kind of person that's hard to transition from one thing to
Mm.
another thing. Like it takes me some time. So in terms of why we became friends, I'm trying to think of the moment when. I mean, I can't really say too much because it's like
I,
it involves other people. So I'm like trying to think, how do I
no,
talk
I
about it?
think
I would say
no,
I
the
would say
first time.
probably the day when, yeah, the day when we grabbed. It was me, you, Mike, and another person, and we went for sushi. And then afterwards,
Yeah.
Mike had a flight back to China or Chiang Mai, Thailand. And then we ended up, me, you, and the other person ended up hanging out and grabbing drinks and smoking shisha and
Mm.
stuff. And I think that was the day when I was like, oh, Jamie's pretty cool. Like, I could hang out with her on a
Mm.
friendship level and all that stuff and all that stuff. So I think that
Uh,
was probably the day
I
for me.
remember you said, yeah, because I kept Mike's like luggage in the car, right? And then, yeah, well, while we were hanging out, I kept Mike's luggage, and then on his, I mean, when the time comes that he needs to go, so we took his luggage. He went to the airport, and I went back to you and the other person hanging out. And you said
Yeah.
like you didn't know that I would still hang out with you, or that I am
That you were
cool
gonna come back
with
or anything
hanging.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, even Mike is not there anymore because he's the person who connected us, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not that I just want to. I mean, it's not that it's just because of Mike, that I can be friends with you. Like I can be friends with anyone, even though without the person who introduced me to the other person. It's
Yeah.
also like interests me knowing other people and not putting limitation like, oh, this is Mike's partner. He's just his position in my life is just like, or his role in my life is like someone I know from Mike. It's not
Yep.
like that. It's like,
So yeah, and then after that, it was just, yeah, I guess the same thing that you said about being genuine, and then helping with connecting me with different things, with my life here in the Philippines and business stuff and things like that, and you know, so I think that was the reason why we became close. And then of course, when you put in the time, I mean, 4 years is a long time, right?
yeah.
Like a lot of people meet people and then within 6 months they're not talking, or
Mm,
within a year they're not talking, whatever. But like, if you put in 4 years with somebody and consistently you've been in a good place with that person,
mhm,
then I value that. Like, I value friendship over time. I always look at that. Like, I don't understand. I like meeting new people, don't get me wrong,
mm,
but
yeah.
for me it's always like, if I've known somebody for a long time, these are the people, this is my tribe, my unit, my team, my, you know what I mean, my
Mm.
circle, like, yeah.
And also that 4 years is not just like us partying. Like
Yeah.
we've been through a lot that 4 years.
Yeah, ups and
It's not
downs.
just meeting, yeah, it's not just meeting outside and hanging out. It's not just that. It's more. it's a deeper friendship and like a family connection. Like you met my family, my parents, my kids. You hang out
Yep.
with my house. I mean, in our house here in Laguna. My kids goes to your place as well. We hang out. We travel. With my kids. And during the pandemic, I think it's the like it tested us. You know, the relationship tested us.
Mhm.
Like how are we able to cope up?
To cope
You
with each
know,
other during a
pandemic.
crazy situation. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think during the pandemic, I can only think of like one situation where I got irritated.
What was it?
Well, it was just that time period. You remember when the PPE stuff was going on, and
Mm-hmm.
well, so it was like a very very crazy time period for me and Mike and everything because I was like waking
Yeah,
up at
yeah.
like 5 o'clock in the morning so I could talk with Mike
Mm-hmm.
about business stuff. Then I would be like on a Zoom. I would just keep my Zoom open, so like my employees would be jumping in and out of my Zoom. Uh, the whole day, and then I would stay up till 3 4 o'clock in the morning, let's say 2 3 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
because I would have to then have calls with the people in the US and stuff like that with Mike. And so it was just crazy crazy time period. So like I think it was just a moment where I was so stressed and a lot of stuff was going on. I wanted to concentrate, and then at that moment, you and one of the other people that was living with us was doing something in the yeah, the video is lagging a little bit, but you and one of the people in the kitchen was doing something and it was making quite a bit of noise. And then I don't know
Yeah, I
exactly what I
remember
said, but
that.
I just know that I gave like a face, and I was like, guys, like just no, no, not right now, like please.
Yeah, I think you're on the phone.
Yeah, I was on a call at that moment. I was like, please, it's not right. But even when I'm angry, I'm still nice about it. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit of intimidation, maybe a little bit more intimidation at that moment. But I think there's only one time out of the whole duration of
Yeah.
our friendship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what else can I ask? Oh, what's one thing that you believe that other people would think you're crazy if you told them about it?
That I'm crazy.
Yeah. What's one
I
thing that you believe that other people would think you're crazy if you told them about it?
how I think I think it's like when I try to help, and it's just recently, this like someone is like needing my. I mean, how would I say it? Like you were saying, like it's not my obligation to help him,
Yeah.
but I was like, it was so hard for me to like um cut my relationship to the person.
Even though you just
Um,
met the person.
yes, because yeah, he needs help, this and that, and I was like, it was like, even though I feel like I'm endangered, or I would be in a position that I don't really want to, but I still want to help.
Yeah.
And you and Simone were like, Jamie, it's not your responsibility. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
I mean,
that
you literally
time
just met this person.
when,
Like, it's not. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's one of my crazy side. When I said crazy is because I'm trying to help for even I'm trying to help someone, even if it's gonna cost me,
Yeah.
something that I'm not really obligated to help.
Yeah.
I think that and in that sense, you think I'm crazy.
Um, for me, it's this aspect of believing that I could become Batman. Uh,
Mm,
I think. Okay, so okay, what's next? Okay, so we're jumping into the closing questions right now. Um,
mhm.
what are three books, podcasts, or vlogs, or even blogs that you would recommend people? It just has to be three. It's not three of each, just three. So books,
Mhm.
podcasts,
Okay.
vlogs, or blogs that you recommend to people to understand you better as a person as well.
Um, books. Okay, one is uh, Think and Grow Rich, which you recommended to me, and
Yep.
then one is Rich
One of the
Dad Poor
classics.
Dad. Yeah,
Another
Rich Dad
classic. Yep.
Poor Dad.
Yep.
Uh, Actually, that the person who recommended that to me is my cousin, and then one of my uh, books that would recommend is how to. I forgot the exact name of the book, but it's like
How to
how
influence
to talk to
people.
people,
How to influence
how
people, and
how to talk and influence people, something like that.
yep, yep.
Uh,
How to make friends and influence people.
yeah, something like that.
Yep.
It's the last book is because you have to guard yourself as well. You know, like
Yep.
me, I'm super friendly. I'm like how would I say it? I'm super friendly. I'm always open to people. I'm this and that, and sometimes I get people take advantage of me.
Yep.
So for people like that, who's very friendly, outgoing, and very trusting, you also have to learn how to guard yourself.
Yep.
So try to read that book.
Yeah, there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance between
Yeah.
being friendly and open, because I'm also friendly and open and all that stuff. You know what's interesting is like I mean this these have been lessons that I've learned more recently, but I already had this vibe in my mind is, keep your best friends, your closest friends. You need to maintain those relationships
Mm-hmm.
as strongly, as fiercely as possible. While okay, you meet new people, don't bring, like, you can be open to it, but don't bring them in so quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've had some negative experiences this year around that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that aspect of, like, you're trying to be open, you're trying to be, non-judgmental and all this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes, like you
you
said, people
welcome
can take
you
it.
you welcome them you
Yep.
welcome them in your life,
Yep.
aside from your main circle,
Yep.
you know
And then
are, yeah.
and then, as you said, like, yeah, sometimes people can take advantage, or you can get burnt from the
Mm-hmm.
situations that come
Yeah.
from that. Yep. But okay, so how to make friends and influence people? We'll have the links in the description, guys. So if you want to check out those books, was it just the books, or did you have anything else, like any podcasts or anything like that?
uh Maybe that's for now.
Oh no. Okay.
Maybe we
Cool.
could have another video podcast
Yep.
podcast in the future, and maybe think I mean, sorry, not think, talk other stuff aside from personal life. I guess this is like just an intro of how we
Well,
became
I mean, we
friends, how
definitely,
I
we
started.
definitely, we definitely dived into some business stuff, and I think that the takeaways from the podcast would be more about, like, the importance of your connections in Asia and
Yeah.
Philippines, and how that works and all that stuff. And I think that's probably the main part of it. But yes, it's definitely an introduction episode. We can jump into some more specific topics in the future and go deep
Hmm.
into that.
Like, yeah, and I would suggest that I mean, we would have a topic next time, like how to deal or how to have business here, how to deal with the business here in the Philippines, like what you experienced with FedEx, you
Yep.
know. So maybe people can expect us talk more about business in the future. So yeah, hopefully we'll have that in the future,
Okay.
and
What is
also
that? Yeah.
we're gonna have a Discord. I'm just plugging it. I'm just
Yep.
plugging it. So we're gonna have a Discord. We're gonna have like a question and answer portion there, like AMA.
Yep.
So if people are listening
And
to
we have an
this, you might be interested.
exclusive Discord podcast as well.
Yeah. So if people will be interested, you can check out on that.
So speaking of the future, what just last question I would say, what is the last question about your stuff, like, what is the future plan, because you mentioned starting your own business and things like that. So what is your overall sort of
Mhm.
future plan?
Oh, like, yeah. So my future plan, since I've been like I've been tagged as the plug. I'm, I have a business plan of having the plug um what do you call it, service, and it's gonna be La Prise. That's in French word of the plug. And Rico might be joining me with that project or business, but I will definitely let people know once it's already like for execution.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be collaborating with you really
Mm-hmm.
because aside from the services, there would be like products that I want to introduce, and I'm gonna be collaborating with SFA.
Okay, so what is the best way for people to reach you if they wanted to contact you?
Okay, for now, the website is not yet there or the Facebook page, but it would be Laprise LAPRISE. Um, and so Facebook is Infinite Travel and Adventure. That's it.
All right. All right. And we'll link that up in the description as per usual. So you just have to go, if you want to reach out to us, that's podcast at sourcefindasia.com, sourcefindasia.com/made in China. Again, links will be in the description. And Source Find Asia at YouTube. And we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.